Hi folks, welcome to the channel, welcome to Spain. I'm Steve, and yes, I'm back. It's been a bit of a break for the channel because I've been super busy setting up my other new channel. But today I thought I'd get back to what I enjoy doing best. Having a wander around and seeing what's going on and having a wee chat along the way. So we're heading into Torrevieja this morning, right into the heart of the summer, to see how things are looking. And what a day it is. It's such a beautiful day. Now, as some of you will know, like most or maybe all coastal places in Spain, parking is a nightmare, real nightmare. So I've decided today I'm going to head for the biggest car park I know. It's right on the front, and I don't even know if I'm going to get parked there. So let's see if I can get a spot. All right, we'll be there in a few minutes. I'm probably going to play a wee bit of Spanish music right now. All right, so onward and upward. It's actually pretty quiet. It's 10 a.m. You would expect more people to be here. I usually avoid coming down here unless I have a specific reason for it. Yeah, this road then would take you way up past Guadalmar and then eventually on to Alicante. Look at the amount of people on that beach, and that's not even one of the main beaches. Right, this is the parking. Fingers crossed. My steering wheel's on the wrong side. I have to do a big funny reach across now. Back in a second.
A few inches later.
So it let me in. So I'm obviously going to get parked. There must be spots. Right, that wasn't easy, but at least I'm parked. Now I have to find my way out. This is a very long car. You know, straight away on the drive down here, I could see it getting much busier than where I'm from in Villamartin, where, to be honest, it's been a little quiet this summer, you know. But let's go see for ourselves. I've walked out the drive out bit. Look at this. Isn't that wonderful? Blue skies, palm trees, lots of happy smiling faces. Later, Stephen, later. There's a, do they call him Picky Man? Picky Man. I come down at this time. It's actually 10:30. So it'll be nice and quiet for videoing. But it's surprisingly busy. You know, in this crazy world that we live in, you hear all sorts of stuff. And if you believe the press, this year, you'd think Spain was half empty. And it's like this in lots of places that I've been. Cartagena, Altea, and Calpe, all super busy. Clearly the press haven't been to have a look. And the truth is, Spain's on target for one of its biggest tourist years ever. Look it up. More visitors than from before the pandemic. Spending's up. Hotels are reporting fantastic numbers in most areas. And sure, there are a few well-known places where visitor numbers are down, especially with the likes of the Brits and the Irish, like Mallorca, Barcelona. So the demonstrations that they've been having have definitely been having an effect on some places, but that doesn't mean that there's fewer visitors to Spain generally. You know, it's probably a mix of shifting travel habits and the dramatic protest headlines. But I think other nationalities have more than made up for it. I'm hearing every language under the sun. You know, just look around here. Summer in Spain is alive and kicking. I dread to think how busy this will be at like 2 or 3 o'clock. I'll not be here to find out. Right, I was going to get a coffee, but actually I think I need a Coke. So let's go get a Coke, and I'll spend a couple of minutes and bring you up to speed with all the wee bits and pieces that have been happening to me since I've stopped making the videos on the channel. All right, coffee shop. Not going to be hard to find. Look at the amount of people on this beach. And it goes on and on and on, and when you get round that corner down there, there's another massively long beach. Fantastic. Coffee shop. But of course, I'm always looking for a coffee shop with a wee quiet corner so I can talk into my camera without everyone thinking I'm nuts and listening to me. And that's not easy to find in areas like this. Oh, I've just found a table. This'll do, mate. It's funny. In Spain, getting served in places like this is rarely easy. So I've been sitting here a few minutes and you see them looking at you, the waiters and waitresses, but it's like they don't really notice you.
12 seconds later.
I've ordered a Coke. Spanish people, very, very laid back. Oh, here's my Coke coming. Oh, cheers guys. I needed that. I was just thinking when I was walking past all the people on the beach, I love beaches. Wherever I go, I love getting to a beach and getting out into the water and doing a swim and maybe spending 20 minutes, but then coming out of the water and getting dried off and leaving the beach. I could never sit on the beach all day like a lot of people do. I just wouldn't enjoy all the sand. Sand's a mess. Boiling hot. Oh, this is wonderful. It's great to live in this type of environment. And the weather this year is amazing, and not in the way you maybe think. And I can actually feel what I'm going to talk about right now. It's a lovely temperature, a cool temperature. There's a beautiful breeze. And for the last week or so, we have had beautiful mornings and evenings, much cooler than normal. You know, usually this time of the year, by this time, like 11 o'clock, you're looking for shade. But recently, it's just been perfect weather. I'm actually going for walks around midday at the minute, and I normally wouldn't do that this time of the year. And you know, I remember, I came back last June, and I remember sort of end of July, when you opened your door, it felt like you'd stuck your head in an oven. And we will have days like that, but we're getting these lovely days at the minute that are so comfortable. You know, you can actually enjoy a beach walk without feeling like you're slowly turning into roast chicken. Right, so a few things to update you with. If you remember, my electric roof on my very old but lovable Ford broke a lot of months ago, and I had to get it fixed, and it cost me €500. It's broke again. A different problem, and it's staying broke. My teeth. If you remember, I was having a lot of problems. I was getting toothaches and had to get a couple of teeth removed. So I recently decided to get some work done to prevent it happening to other teeth. Long story short, the dentist made a complete hash of what she was doing. She messed up all the prep work, and I ended up for weeks with a really, really sore and tender mouth. It was terrible, and I could hardly eat. I mean, couldn't touch. It was really, really sore. So in the end, I just left and decided to go to another dentist who after taking an x-ray, told me that it was the bottom front 6 that I got work done on. I was getting crowns put on them. I ended up with an abscess right across all 6, and there hadn't been anything wrong with these teeth. They were discoloured, and I knew they'd eventually probably go, and I decided to get them sorted out. But an abscess right across the bottom of the whole 6, and he said 3 of them are loose, and they were never loose. So she really messed up. Nightmare, cost me a fortune, and I'm just recovering now. What else? Yes, I'm a landlord. If you remember, I was doing up my other tiny apartment to rent it out. Well, eventually got it finished. I was a bit lazy about it, and it's now rented out. Somebody's living there. Next, if you remember my last trip to Thailand, which was a lot of months ago, 4 of the days I spent in Phuket on my scooter, travelling around, recording and making videos. I enjoyed it so much, I've decided to go back, and I'm going in a couple of months. I'm not making any videos this time, but I'm going to do that for 2 weeks in Phuket. Maybe film a wee bit right now. So there you go. I think that's it with all the updates. No. I have to tell you this. Wee bit of bumming, to be honest. So we're playing a wee pool team. And last year we were bottom of the league. This year we're middle of the league. But we were playing last week against the league leaders. And there's 9 matches in total. 9 games. And our wee team had done really well and got it to 4 each. And I was in the last game. And I did something I never thought I'd ever be able to do in my life. I cleared all the colours and the black in one visit to the table. Total clearance to win. It was like winning the World Cup. I went crazy, and so did all the rest of the team. So I won. So, thought I'd tell you that. Right, that's it. I'm nearly finished my coat. Let's go explore a wee bit more. That's okay. Thank you. Sandcastle of all sandcastles. You know, that says it all, doesn't it? Whatever the headline. The coast, it's thriving. Sunbeds full, kids playing, paddle boats, lifeguards busy, fantastic. It's summer in Spain, exactly how you would expect it to be. This is the tourist Torrevieja, and you're going to pay a bit more. But that Coke I got, €3, not too bad. But as soon as you go back a few streets back, everything gets much cheaper. You know, you can get like a coffee in most of the more local coffee shops for €2. I don't know how much the coffees would be along here. I suppose around €3. Still much cheaper than a coffee chain at home, and a whole lot better view. Yeah, so no matter what it is you're looking for in Spain or any tourist place, I suppose, the trick is to step back a bit, a few streets back. You'll get better food and better prices, but then you don't mind paying a bit more for somewhere like this. It's just such a great atmosphere. It's lovely to see so many people with smiley, happy faces. Right, I'm going to go off the promenade, go inward, have a wee look and see if I'm right. You know, I haven't done this sort of filming in a while. Walking about talking and having wee things planned in your head. And I forgot just how difficult it can be. I've made a few mistakes today, like talking into the camera and then discovering a whole bit that you've done. You didn't actually have it on. You'd only turned on the camera, hadn't been recording and things like that. So whenever I go home tonight, I could be very disappointed. This could be a mess. By the way, it's now 12:15, gotten a bit hotter, still not boiling, and in the shade here, really, really nice, but definitely getting hotter. Had to go in there and buy a bottle of water because I promised the sand castle guy that I would give him a couple of euro, and I didn't have any change, so I'll have to go back there at some stage. Do you know, I was just thinking, I thought, first of all, I don't come down here very often, and I should. And then it dawned on me, the last time I was actually down here at the front was when I was looking for my apartment last May. I live within 30 minutes of here, and I haven't been here since which is a good advertisement for everywhere that I live, the area that I live, because there's really everything you would want, but I should come down here more often. Lovely wee restaurant. I'd love to know the prices. There's the prices. Lovely wee restaurants like that be much cheaper because they're set back. I was looking for the price of coffee and Coke. There wasn't any in the menu.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight,
As soon as you come in or come back a street or two, all these wee shops are all empty, even this time of the year. You must really struggle, no wonder they're cheaper. In saying that, I had a wee sit for a good while actually. I was sitting on my phone and looking around, you know, it's just wonderful. So I sat for about an hour and it's after 2, so it's sort of Spanish siesta. Peak heat, although it doesn't feel particularly boiling. And a lot of these wee cafes do it the Spanish way. They close down for a few hours. Anyone know where we are?
try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at
I think a wee sit down, and this looks like a lovely place to have a wee sit down. Another thing about this time in Spain, which is wonderful, is the fiestas. Every town, every village, music, dancing in the streets, food stalls. They're noisy, they go on late, and they're just brilliant. If you've never been to one, put it on your list. But be prepared for a late night, especially if you're having a drink. All this lovely weather we're having now, you wouldn't believe, last week, for a couple of days, one night in particular, there was a thunderstorm. And I think it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, there was a particular thunderclap that honestly went off and sounded like an explosion. I nearly had a heart attack. I jumped about 3 feet out of my bed. I genuinely thought something had just blown. I didn't know it was a thunder. I thought something had blown up outside my house, and I jumped up and looked out my window to make sure it wasn't my car, and it wasn't, thankfully. Right, enough resting. Time to walk again.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing
All right.
can break me. Try.
Hey, Mr. Sandman, sing me a song. Is that the word? I don't even know if that's the words. I was just thinking about the sand there, the Sandman. He can't possibly build all that every day. There's too much of it. You need a JCB or something. Then it dawned on me, he doesn't have to build it every day. No doubt you get people racking it on him at nights, but the bulk of it would all stay there. That's how I think, you know, I do, a lot.
Drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself.
I'm looking for the car park. I should really get my phone out and look. But I don't really care. Very enjoyable just walking about. These back streets sort of remind me of a lot more of how places like Villamartin are at the minute. And they're definitely quieter this year. And I personally think that anywhere that's set back from the seafront isn't getting as many visitors as in the past. You know, people just want to be closer to the sea. And in my urbanisation, which is a lovely place, there's a lot of the apartments haven't had any lets this year. And it just shows you, the more and more they build, the further back they have to go. And you must come to a point where people just aren't willing to travel that far. I mean, if you want to go to the beach from where I live in Villamartin, you need to drive, you need to get a bus or a taxi. You can walk it, but 2 of my friends walk it, but I wouldn't. A bit lazy. Right, I've went too far, so I'm going to go. I want to find a wee bit of beach, get my feet into the water, and then head for the car park. Back in a minute.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
I love marinas, but I always wonder who owns the boats because no one ever seems to be getting out on them. Boatyard. This is where you come to get your boat fixed. Look, a train, a real train for the road. Even the trains seem to stop for siesta. I don't think I'm going to get a beach because I can now see my car park. Water's there. Beach is a lot further down. So there we go. That was a brief look at Torrevieja. Summer, end of July 2025. Busy front, packed beaches, perfect weather. And it's great to be back doing this type of video. I hope I haven't messed it up too much. So thanks for coming along with me for the walk. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget, give it a thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want to see my next video. And you know I love to hear your comments, especially now that this is my first one back. So it would be good to see a bit of people getting involved. But until next time, bye for now. For flip's sake, where'd everybody go?